Pay close attention. When a plastic tab or support like this breaks, simply gluing it back together will almost always cause it to break again. What really determines the strength of the repair is the reinforcing structure hidden inside. First, cut a small piece of metal mesh to use as reinforcement. Heat it until it reaches a high temperature and, while it is still hot, quickly press it into the damaged area. The mesh will become embedded in the plastic and integrated into the part. If you want an even stronger repair, you can add another layer of mesh on the opposite side, reinforcing the entire piece even further. Once the plastic has completely cooled down, make the mounting hole again, and the broken tab will be repaired. 2. Now, when an entire section of a plastic part is already missing, what you really need to rebuild is not only its outer shape, but the complete structure of the joint. First, sand the edge of the broken area until the surface becomes even. Then find a piece of the same type of plastic to use as replacement material. Use the shape of the original part as your reference. Mark its position, make a hole of the same size, and, once the measurements have been properly adjusted, trim away the excess material by following the entire outline. This will give you a new piece with the structure you need. Next, apply a small amount of adhesive to temporarily hold it in position. At this stage, the joint does not need to be extremely strong. It only needs to keep the piece from moving during the remaining steps. Then cut a metal ring and use it as internal reinforcement. Heat it, and embed it around the hole in the plastic piece. In fact, this small metal ring is what will support most of the stress. Once the plastic cools down again, the metal will remain firmly anchored inside, working like the framework of a building and providing rigidity to the entire joint. Finally, sand and shape the repaired area using different grits of sandpaper to gradually achieve a finer finish. If necessary, also use a polishing compound until the repaired section blends naturally with the original piece. Finally, apply a coat of primer, followed by a finishing coat of paint so the part can recover almost all of its original appearance. 3. If you only need a temporary emergency repair, you can also glue the damaged area together with adhesive and fill the cracks using fibers from a cotton swab. Once the glue completely saturates the fibers and hardens, they will work as a natural reinforcing layer, increasing the strength of the joint and helping the repaired part withstand stress more effectively.